I think both. The alliance has proven to be every bit as relevant and important now as it was then, because of its ability to adapt over time. It adapts to the changing security situation, and I think it's a great point that back 70 years ago they recognized that the maritime, the oceans of the world, aren't barriers that separate people. They're global commons that connect people. The North Atlantic connects us together. It does now as it did then. I think it's just as important, and that's why the alliance is named after the great bridge that connects both sides of the Atlantic.
And of course we've seen NATO 1, 2, 3. There's a debate going on about NATO 4 and the New World Order. Where do you see that going?
Well, what I can say is that there's a process. All of the nations in the alliance are committed to collective defense. They all have processes where they will elect representatives to go and send representatives to Brussels, to the North Atlantic Council, and I have confidence that the structure and the mission of NATO, if it needs it in the future.
And expanding across more nations, do you believe?
There are plans right now. Again, that's more of a political discussion to be had rather than a military discussion. But certainly we've seen significant expansion over the past 20 or 30 years.
So let me go back to a military point of view then. Sure. What can NATO offer other nations from a NATO perspective?
I think what the primary purpose of NATO and my primary mission as the Maritime Group Commander is collective defense and readiness. It's security. It's providing readiness in order to deter conflict by being ready to respond immediately if anything does start to get out of control. So really, it's a collective defense organization, a collective security organization that all members are committed to. And in order to do that, we train hard and maintain readiness to be able to respond.
Our final throwaway, because we're looking at potentially some areas that other nations may have an interest in: Antarctica, the Arctic, the mineral resources. Is that a bubbling area of interest?
Well, again, from a military perspective, there's a process to identify the capabilities that the alliance needs for collective defense, and there's a political process to work out those sorts of issues.